September One Knife Challenge. Is it really for me or not? Welcome. This is Everyday Comfort, where we talk about things related to making you comfortable and you also being able to help other people be comfortable. Last week, I was reviewing what was at MBEDC. It's something that I subscribe to and follow, and I enjoy a lot of what's going on there. But he had a one knife challenge, and the theory is you get something with one knife and you carry it for all of September. Well, when I heard about that, I immediately said, that's not for me. And I said, well, maybe I should try it, or at least for a couple of days. Since this was last Thursday and I'm in the US, there was a 3-day or 4-day holiday, depending upon how you look at it, right over the weekend. And so I'm just now getting to this on Wednesday morning, actually. So almost a week late. And I thought about this, and this is going to be both really easy and really hard for me. Typically, what I do is I get up in the morning. I am retired. I get up in the morning. I write a little bit in my journal. I might go on the internet and look at a few things like news and what else is happening in the world. And then after that, I think about my day. I might check my calendar, and then I decide what I'm going to do. And then I decide, well, what multi-tool am I going to carry? I've got a lot of options. I've just got a few of them out here, because I just wanted to talk about them a little bit here. These are all one knife things, but I have more than this, and I'll talk about that later. But lately, I'm in the middle of a 60-day rocking this particular pouch. It's called the Leatherman EDC pouch that was on Amazon for like $6. It is up to $8 now, but I do carry this in my left pocket. It doesn't bulge at all, as you can tell. It's not very thick here, but I do carry in this area here what I typically would carry for my EDC blades. Here I have a flashlight, I got a pen, I carry, right now I trade off between this Hassat wrench and a Knipeck wrench. I got my paper in here, as people know who follow me know, I like post-it notes, and on the inside I got a toolkit and a boo-boo kit. So this is a boo-boo kit, and this is the toolkit. I typically use Steinwall bits, double-sided bits. The other day I lost my 20 and 25. That's how much I use them, so I just replaced that with a Weha double-sided bit. And so that's what I carry inside here all the time. So now, if I choose a blade, it's got to fit this particular situation, and it's got to be something that I feel comfortable carrying for a while. So I'm not going to get up in the morning, assess my life, and say, I'm going to carry this blade. My hope is that I can do it for like 10 days. This is not something that I'm used to doing. But I thought through this a little bit of which blade it would be, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what my thinking was here. I'm going to set this off to the side. First off, I thought, well, let's just go really crazy. And I said, well, let's go with the Oracle U1 rather. It's empty because the only time I ever use this is when I travel. And then when I go someplace, I get a blade just once I'm there, because it's so long, I can use it to cut meat and cheese and other things when I'm out walking. My lunch. But I thought that was going to be interesting and a little bit too limiting. I also have, I'm trying to get rid of all my other single blades. At one time, I think I had like 11, and now I'm down to 6, not including this one. And I was actually down to 5, and then I ended up buying one that I thought, oh, I should try this one for a few days, which is the Walmart Ozark knife, which is also a D2 blade. This is a great blade, I think, for a scout or something like that, but it's not something that I'm probably going to carry a lot. Like I said, I typically don't even carry a blade like that on me. I usually go to a multi-tool. And then most of the multi-tools that I have that aren't Swiss Army knives And well, I should say, well, they actually do include Swiss Armies. Usually have a couple blades on it. So I wanted to be really clear about one blade. So I actually thought about, let's go back old school. This is my one of my first Leatherman ones that I've ever purchased. I think I got this in 96 or 97. And this is the Leatherman PST. It only has one blade on it. And I happen to have sharpened it up maybe about 6 months ago. And I've used it just once since then. But it's a really nice nostalgia going to the past. And I'll talk about some other things here. Then I thought about, let's consider that, because it'd be interesting to go back and look at that. And it actually would fit inside the pouch here fairly well, provided I didn't put it in there. I also looked at going new school, which is, I've got a Roxxon Flex, which is one that comes with interchangeable blades. I typically don't have a blade in it, such as now, because once again, I use it for traveling. And so I travel without any blades, and then I get a blade with this. So now I have a blade that is really nice, and I've got a multi-tool on me when I travel. And I've done that travel, I think, 3 times since then, and I haven't been stopped or anything else. I shouldn't say that. Once I was stopped, they looked at it and they said, oh, and I thought then that they may actually take it away from me. I'm missing something here that I was going to talk about, so just hold on a second. I forgot to say the other thing that goes in my pocket is this Chums pouch. What goes in here are typically my cards will go in here, and if I have any money, it will go in here also. So one will go in my left pocket, the other one would go in my right pocket. If I have keys, I will put them here. I normally don't need keys. I've got smart locks, and I can use my phone to get into my home and also into my cars. And so I don't need keys. The only time that I put keys on here is when I'm out riding my bicycle, because my bike lock needs keys. There are bike locks that are combination, but they typically are not as good. So once again, so these are the 2 things that I need to be able to carry. And so once again, I'm going to go back to this Roxxon. I thought that that'd be interesting, but it's just too big unless I end up carrying it in here. And I think I could do it, but it would bulge a little bit too much as far as I was concerned. So I said no to that one. So I've essentially eliminated these single bladed pieces, and I've eliminated the Roxxon Flex. Although it'd be interesting to carry that with a blade. I don't think that I've ever had a blade in there, though I have two blades. The PST is in contention. Now the other one that I really like is this Mosey Oak. I think it's 12-in-1. It's got a single blade on it, and I really like that. It is a locking blade, and then it has really nice scissors that I really like a lot. And then it has some tools here, but they're just not super important. They're average tools. Then it has a 1/4-inch detent piece, which I really do like. The interesting thing about this is that I put a magnet in the bottom of it, so I can put in a regular bit in there, or I can put in a WeHa bit. Let me find a WeHa bit here. I take that out, put in the WeHa bit, and it fits in there, and then I can screw things with it. And because there's a magnet, it will stay. So that makes it really interesting. I would have to change up the bits from the Steinwall double-sided bits to the WeHa double-sided bits if I wanted to be able to use bits to do some work or something like that. That should not be an issue. I typically would carry them in something like this. Now, the other one, so this one is still in contention. I'm going to take these off because they're no longer in contention. But this next tool, which I've actually carried a lot, and some people think that it's a keychain tool. I think it's a little large for a keychain tool. It's got nice scissors, and it also has one blade on it. And let me get a, and it is a small blade, but it's a nice blade. And it really is not a locking blade either. So while I can have a locking blade here in like the US, in some places in Europe and Asia, they would not allow a locking blade. So this might be something to consider. It also comes with small but nice pliers, and some of the other tools are nice also. It does come with a flat Phillips, straight edge, bottle opener, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to talk about this Roxxon KS2E. I've tried a lot of items that claim to be the Swiss Army clones, Victorinox wannabes, and this is the closest one by far to Victorinox stuff that I've ever had. I've tried, I think it's the Runkel. There's one that's called Swiss something, and then a new one I've looked at it, which names I can't remember now, but this thing is really nice. Number one, it's got D2 steel, and it's got a nice size knife. It is comparable to a lot of the knives that you would see on a Victorinox, a little smaller. It is a locking knife, which that's 1/2 step better from Victorinox. While its scissors are large, they work really well. These scissors I really enjoy quite a bit. The other nice thing about these scissors is that it has a little hidden tweezers in here. And that's a little homage, I think, to some of the Victorinox products. And here's a saw. It has a saw a couple times. Some of the Victorinox saws are a little bit better because they're a little bit longer, but the ones that are this size, they are comparable to. And like I said, and then the other tools are pretty nice. The one thing that they could have done better here is anything at all. And on this side, they actually have a measurer, which is not worth anything at all either. I don't know why people do that nowadays. But it would have been great if one of these sides, or if this size could have been like a diamond file. A diamond file can be really helpful in so many ways. And that would have made it just over the top better. Considering its price of $40 US, you're in the ballpark of being a little bit less than some of the Victorinox ones that are comparable. That's why this is the only one that I've seen that I would put up against, Victorinox. The other ones are always cost more than Victorinox. This one costs just a little bit less or in the same ballpark as it. The other thing that this one comes with, it comes with a little 4mm tool kit you can bring, and so use that. These things work really well on certain things, but most things beyond computer glasses, toys, they do not work those 4mm. And I used to work in computers, so I've done a lot of work with 4mm. Now we're going to go to, but that's still a possibility. So I'm going to eliminate this one. So the PST is still involved. This Mosey Roxxon is still involved. You could probably look at these and take a hint and see the ones that carry the most are the ones that typically have around them. Cloth things around them. Now we're going to go to the Victorinox ones. I'm going to start here. Swiss cart. Now the Swiss cart it does have a blade on it, but this would be like a major jump backwards with some of the needs that I have. If we were looking for just a knife and something that you were sort of caught for like space, the knife and scissors here are just really good on this particular piece. This is something that I bought used from someone local because of FOMO, and it was like half the price of a regular one. I think I ended up getting it for like $20, something like that. But it's just something that I want to make sure that was in my quote unquote. But I'm probably not going to use that one. I looked at the Rambler. I've got a Rambler and also a Midnight Manager. It's just much more complete. This is one of these things that if you were on a train ride in Europe in the 1990s, and if you had one of these, you had everything that you needed to go from border to border. And when you think about when they were thinking about this, At the time in like Europe, there was no Swingen countries. The EU was not very solidified yet. And after they started putting these things out, all those things were. But if you were like a train conductor, and that you needed to like look at people's tickets, which were hand tickets or cloth tickets, and that you needed to like sign something, and you needed to tighten up or loosen up something, this was like a fantastic tool to have because it was very small. You could put it on like your keychain. Those train conductor keychains are just really huge to like begin with, and that you do so much with it. I like it. Occasionally I put it, it's like stuff. I like it, and I usually, if I'm doing or car traveling, I would probably take this one with me. I kind of switched that up a little bit, but I probably would take that with me. This was not comfortable for any length of time, although it would fit inside the pouch. It's just not comfortable in my hand, so I'm not going to do that or the Swiss card. Now, I got this one out. This is the Pioneer X. Real interesting story behind this, and I am not a collector. I don't collect things to make them sit on the wall. I collect things, and someone gave me this Pioneer X as a present, and I had no idea that it was anything special. So, I put it a little bit in my rotation, and I was wearing it. And a friend in my house who actually is Army knives, but he collects like coins, and said, "Oh, you have that thing. You shouldn't be wearing it." I said, "Well, what do you mean? It's just a knife. You shouldn't be doing that. That this thing is going to increase in value right over the next 4 or 5 what?" And so then I began to look it up, and so then I took it out of my rotation. I put it back inside the box, and I haven't used it in a year and a half, so maybe longer even. But this was a gift, and so I really liked it. So I looked online to get it replaced, and I am looking at a Pioneer X online, and I think it was on Amazon, in fact. And then what I found out is that I looked at the Farmer X. And the Farmer X, which is this exact same thing with one additional ingredient, and that one additional ingredient is the saw. But otherwise, everything else is the same. The knife, this is the same here. The knife, the scissors, the and I really liked it. And so I actually, than the Pioneer X at that point in time. So I said, for $5 less, plus a saw, and I do a lot of camping, so a saw does come in handy. So I got this, and so this has been in my rotation quite a bit also, because I don't use this one at all. I have since one for 2023, so I have 2 of these that I have 2 things that I don't use. I really like my friend. I really don't like that. So this, I actually wear this one a lot, a little thing here, because sometimes I just wear it myself without anything. This is the Outrider, the 111. I only take this when I'm out and about somewhere. It's got one of the largest knives that I have used. It's not the largest, but it is one of the largest knives, and it's that someone would want to have. As you can tell, all the ones with corkscrews, I've added some tinder to them. And I've taken out these and added these has flint. The corkscrew ones mean I'm going to go out and I'm going to go camping. And the other thing that I really like about this one, the knife, the scissors are really, really good. The saw and this piece here, this Phillips. I really like the separated Phillips. What it doesn't have that I wish it did was a saw. Oh, I'm sorry. It does have a saw. I keep forgetting about that because I really want it when I got this. I really want it. And it does have a liner locking blade. So, but it's really nice. And like I said, I only take this if I'm going to go camping. So I probably, and it's a little large. It's a little large for this, so I'm not going to use that. I thought about some other ones. I've got some ones that are from like the 70s and 80s and have double blades on it. Then I thought the ultimate EDC one. People tell me this is one that I really want to use it more. I just don't use it enough. And this is the compact, which in my mind is the best two blade multi-tool, pretty much everything. This is it. It really is. It works really well. Between a really nice knife, you know, like this 90 or the full 180, you know, you get the scissors with it, which are really nice to use. And like I said, I put some Tinder driver here in, just something I probably will never use. It's got a little pen, you know, nail file, this little hook here, and once again this and then this is a pen. I didn't put in my flint in there. I thought I put my, and then here's the tweezers. So what I need to do is take out the flint in there, the rod rather. But this one could be a really serious contender. It's one that I haven't done, but it could be really nice to trial. So as I'm looking at these, I'm down to these 5. I'm going to take the Farmer out because that's down to 4. And the 4 are the compact, the Roxxon, the in-1, and the older Leatherman PST. I'm going to eliminate the PST only because I haven't used it in like a while and I want to use it, but the 12-in-1 would be great. I would have to change out a few things that are in, you know, I would change out the Steinwell bits for the Weha bit work. And the Roxxon is really nice. Roxxon is one of the ones that, and like the Farmer X are two of the ones that I probably carry the most right now. This year, I think the Farmer X and this Roxxon have been the ones that have been system, my pocket or something, or my pouch, pretty much the whole. So what I'm, and so I'm gonna, I haven't used that compact much, only like 3-4 times. So I think I'm gonna use the Victorinox for my one blade to see what I do. So I will use it the next. I'm still backups. I'm gonna try to do a month, but like I said, I think I'm probably gonna end up slapping it back to 10 days. I'm not a very person with keeping up with things. This though does fit well, and I can always take it out, put it in my pocket. I've got the major ingredients of things that I want. It's missing the sub, but that's okay. I'm not going to be going camping anytime soon, so that's not important. So that's my thoughts on the September One Knife Challenge. That this is longer than what you probably anticipated or wanted, but this is Everyday Comfort. I'll see you in the future.